Everybody, I'm Peter Diamandis.
I'm Tony Robbins.
And it's a pleasure to be here with you. Abundance 360 is coming up very quickly. And this is probably one of the most important pieces of upfront prep work you're going to do. And Tony, you more than anybody understand the purpose of passion in making things happen in your life. And what I want to do is, on this page, is the tool for defining and writing your massively transformative purpose. We're going to be talking about so many different technologies that are transforming the lives and allowing you to do almost anything you want. The question is, what do you want to do? What is your passion? What is your purpose?
Because without that, the emotion is what activates everything. You and I both know it. If I asked you, where were you on 9/11, no matter what country you come from, you remember the moment, you remember who was there, you can see it, you can feel it. Because it wasn't just information. If I ask you where we were on 8/11 of the same year, you have no clue. Information without emotion basically is not held on to. But if we can get you crystal clear before you even see this technology, what is I'm most passionate about? What do I love? What do I desire? What pisses me off? What do I want to have an impact on? That's where that mission or purpose comes from. But then the moonshot is getting it to be so specific with a deadline, with a time that starts to unleash you. And this simple little process can get you started with that.
So you may have your massively transformative purpose already. That's fine. I want you to reconsider it. I want you to crystallize. I want you to make it clean and simple, something that you can repeat over and over again, that you know in your heart. And so we're going to go through that process over this short video. And as Tony said, right, I want to differentiate an MTP, a massively transformative purpose, is the canvas. It's an area of interest and passion. For mine, it's space. For you?
It's changing the quality of people's lives, but that comes in many different areas. So I have specific areas. So for example, as you know, I was fed when I was 11 years old. We had no food. It was Thanksgiving. It so deeply moved me. I said, I really want to help feed other people. So John, I want to end suffering within human beings around this area. But then it grew. It grew with me just first starting out and taking some action. But then in recent years, I was writing this book. I was doing Money Master the Game. And I was interviewing 50 of the wealthiest people in the world, the smartest financial people, multi-billionaires, all self-made. And at the same time I'm doing it, I'm watching Congress cut the budget for $6.3 billion on food stamps, now called the SNAP process, which means every family in America that really needs help has to give up a week's worth of food for the family, 1 week out of every month, unless you and I step in. So I said, I want to feed more people. I want to make a major difference. But then I started to turn that into moonshot. And I was like, okay, how many people have I fed in my lifetime? And it was 38 million. I was like, wow, that was pretty amazing over a life. But what if I fed 38 million in a year? And then it was 50 million, it was 100 million. And then it just took on its own power because the emotion became strong. You and I both know the bigger the moonshot, once you know the canvas, once you know where your drives are, the more your brain gets into it. And all of a sudden, I don't know how to do it because I don't believe in the tyranny of how. If you think about it, when Kennedy says space, we're going to put a man on the moon within this decade, he had no effing idea how he was going to do that. He just knew he knew what he was about and why he was going to do it, but he turned it into that moonshot by giving specificity to it. So all of a sudden I said, what if I fed 100 million people a year? And then it's like, what if I fed 1 billion people? And then I went from what if to, I'm going to provide 1 billion meals in the next 10 years, which creates an annuity of 100 million meals a year. And that process, I'm 400 million meals into it now. And we're going to hit our 500 million this year because I got so excited. So you start with the canvas, you start with the passion, you find something you're pissed off about, you're excited about, you're moved by, you get that area, and then you start to say, what specific targets would unleash me? What specific targets? And then the how comes later, because if you try to do the how up front, the brain goes, I don't know how to do that. Even brilliant people like yourselves, and I'm not blowing smoke to you, you're people that come to 360 are billionaires, businessmen, and you're busy as hell, but we want to make sure that you have the fulfillment you want. Listen, I'm sure you have in your business already, but this is like, what do you want to contribute? What do you want to make a difference in? That's what this is about.
So Tony's canvas, is change the quality of life. His moonshot, very clearly, 1 billion people in a decade. We'll be talking about moonshots on the third day of Abundance 360, but I just know that if you come in with a clear MTP that is driving you, you're going to see opportunities, right? As my friend Dan Sullivan always says, your eyes only see and your ears only hear what you're looking for. And so what are you looking for? It's a purpose in your life. So let's run down this. There's a few exercises, a few things I want you on this page to fill out. That's going to end up with your massively transformative purpose. So here's number one. I want you to think about what is a big problem area or opportunity that fills you with emotional energy, right? And that emotional energy can be like wonder and excitement or pain or anger. I'm so excited about opening up space. I'm so pissed off that Congress cut the budget or whatever it might be. And you said this, right? So, that area has to have an emotional energy because it has to keep you going at 3 a.m. in the morning or wake you up at 6 a.m. in the morning.
And when all hell's breaking loose and it's not working, it's got to keep you going too, right? Because if it all just came together, everybody would have their moonshot executed. But I'll give you another example. You can have multiple areas. Since mine is quality of life, I'm in India and I'm seeing these kids that are dying. I mean, just literally dying. And what are they dying from? It's waterborne disease. It's the easiest thing to solve. So immediately I said, I want to make a huge difference here. I want to save lives. How am I going to save lives? I want to provide fresh water. So then it graduated to, I want to provide water for 1 million people. Well, I'm 2 years into it. We're providing 250,000 people with fresh water every day in India. I didn't know how. I just knew it was what I wanted. Then I found the right company, the right organization, the right teams started to come together. So you're not limited to one moonshot, because some of you will think on a larger scale, but it needs to have that same core drive for you. It's like, I'm not letting somebody die. I did the same thing. I had an opportunity, unfortunately, to see what the impact is of slavery in this country and around the world. More people are enslaved today, right, through trafficking than any time in history. A smaller percentage, but a larger number of people. And it happens everywhere. So all of a sudden I found Underground Railroad and I said, you know what, I want to free 10,000 people. I was looking at the privilege of flying privately and I was like, I want to make sure that I cover my carbon footprint. And I looked it up and it's only 3,000 trees to do it. So I said, screw that. I'm going to plant 5 million trees. Well, I did that. And then it was 10 million. Now it's 100 million. So I planted 5 million trees last year, 5 million this year. And I said, I don't want to just plant trees. I want to save farmers' lives. Go back to that same core drive. So I partnered with a group called Trees for the Future. And we build these forests. And this is in Africa where people try to cross the desert and die or live on $1.25 a day where they're not surviving. They don't think they can make a crop. So now my investment's not just trees, but it's these forests with gardens. And now we have people doing a new crop every month instead of one a year if it doesn't work. And now they're making $12 a month.
Incredible.
And that's rich in their community.
This man is an MTP and moonshot machine. So pause this video and complete this first step, right? What is an area that you're passionate about that drives you with emotional energy of wonder and excitement or fear or pain, whatever it is, write down a couple of areas that drive you, okay? Thanks. So step number 2 here is, who do you want to be a hero to? Who is it that you truly want to change the life and inspire people of? Tony, who do you want to be a hero to?
Well, one of them was to kids that are enslaved. I mean, I had the experience. I went into the country because I went full makeup undercover to work with Underground Railroad.
You had a huge beard.
Yeah, no one was a scar and everything else because I didn't want to blow back on my family. But we went to this particular country and we captured these guys because the visual of seeing these young girls who were chained to a bed at 12 years old, 11 years old, 8 years old. It was so insane, but then the view of them when they were free and they realized they're free was one of the greatest experiences of my life. So, but this brings up a question. I'd say, well, Tony, what if I don't know where it is? I don't know what my purpose is. You got to get around where it's better or get around where it's worse. Get around where it's better and you'll be inspired because you'll see somebody else, you'll catch the fever. You know how people yawn and people start to yawn? Same thing's true with passion. You get around people that are that passionate and something will hit you. You get around where it's better, you're gonna start to say, man, I want more, I want to create more, have more impact. Or get around where something's horrible that'll piss you off and put you into gear. But that emotion is what's gonna activate this and turn it into something real. But you gotta not be in the how I'm gonna do it first. The tyranny of why will make you go, how? I don't know how. You lose certainty. When you lose certainty, the emotion goes down. When the emotion goes down, your energy goes down. When your energy goes down, you're not going to execute.
All right, so I'm going to pause the video again. I want you to write down some definition of who is it? Is it women? Is it men? Is it entrepreneurs? Who is it that you want to be a hero to that gives you some clarity around your massively transformative purpose? Just write down a few areas. Where do you get joy? For me, it is definitely entrepreneurs. It's inspiring entrepreneurs like yourself to go 10 times bigger, 10 times further than ever before. Pause, write down a few areas. Our third is, for me, it's making this actionable. What are the action verbs? What are the terms that really light you up? What do you want to do? So I said here, write down a few powerful verbs that describe specific actions that you want to take in your problem area, actions that inspire you and compel you.
One of the things that I've done a process myself years ago, I called it core intentions, because I was saying, there's some part of all of us that is immutable. And what I mean by that is, it doesn't matter if it's good times or bad times, it doesn't matter if things go your way or not. There's certain things that are deep in your unconscious that you just make happen. Like, I always have to find a way to help. I always have to make a difference. I always got to have fun in some way. I always got to make sure that we laugh. I got to make sure that I'm growing. And so I made this list and I was like, wow, it doesn't matter what happened with the plan or the idea, there's some core emotions, there's some core outcomes, there's some core intentions that are immutable, that you always find a way. You always bring passion to everything. You always have the way to improve it and expand it. You always got to make the difference, So what are the core intentions of you? What are those? And give them some words that you can look back when you're done with the list and go, damn, I can see no matter what age or stage of life, this has been universal for me. I still find a way to deliver or experience these things. Those are the kind of core actions I'm talking about.
For me, the verbs that picked me up, and I got these when I came to Date with Destiny. If you haven't got Date with Destiny, an extraordinary program. It was inspiring guiding. For me, inspiring individuals to go and say, you can, this is what's possible, this is, there are no limitations, and then guiding. This is the whole work that the X Prize does, is, guiding people towards, breakthroughs in different areas. Inspiring and guiding has been core to me, and it is, I'll come to my MTP at the end of this, but those were the verbs I wrote down. Is it solve? Is it change? Is
transform,
it
transform, create, make a difference, push through, explode. Find the things that are going to move you, because words are not just words, they're biochemical triggers. And if you start to use those words, you will literally change your state as you think about it. You change your state, you'll execute. If you don't, if you come up with the words that don't move you, and I'm not talking about writing a purpose that's 6 paragraphs long and it looks really good on your wall. Everybody's done that shit. I'm talking about something so coarse, so brief, maybe nickel words that'll move you instead of a 50-cent word that looks good.
Our last step is to integrate this, for you to come up with your massively transformative purpose. Now, like you said, Tony, this is not, a paragraph or a page. This is 20 words, 10 words, 30 words, no longer. It's something that actually you can memorize, internalize, and say over and over again. Because for me, my MTP, it's every morning, every night, every time I feel any kind of instability, it's in my brain, in my neurons.
And one thing I have to say is, it can change, it can improve, so don't be so uptight that it has to be perfect right now. Get something down and don't make it sound perfect. You'll refine it, especially as you get here. But when you went to Date with Destiny, you came up with your mesh. What was it?
I did, let me share that with you. And like you said, here's a chance to write down a few different versions, right? Not just one, and refine it. And you can change it between now and the event, but it's just getting that down. And I remember at Date with Destiny, one of the most important things I came away with was what I now call my MTP. You have a front end on it, which I'm clear adds that emotional embedded in your body.
And part of that, what we did there is a series of things to put you in a peak state, but also we went different areas. You remember I had Peter and the whole group go back to what were at different stages of your life. When you're 5 years old, what'd you want to be? What was the drive? Like, I wanted to be a police artist. I don't know where that shit came from. I want to catch bad guys. Then I wanted to be a fireman. I wanted to save people. And then I want to be a rock star. Clearly we can't sing for shit, but that was the idea. I want to rock people's worlds. And what happened is you start to see that there are different pieces of the thread that come together that are there. But
so mine is my MTP, and it's crystal clear. It has been, it drives me, is to inspire and guide the transformation of humanity on and off the earth, right? And so, in fact, when I say it in my full glory of my Date with Destiny is, I see, hear, feel, and know. The purpose of my life is to inspire and guide the transformation of humanity on and off the earth.
And what you see in him also is, he did it over and over again. We had 3 people in front of him. He had to keep doing it until everybody said they got it. That he owned it in his soul. That's why he knows it. You do it. You live it. You live it every damn day.
And it's clear and crystal and short enough that I can say it and I know it, and my friends and my family know it. So my mission for you is to not write a paragraph, not to write a mission statement. It is, what is that clear, crystal, short MTP? And I want you to write down a few of them. And just to give you some hints, if you would, sort of the tools I use to get you thinking about it. What did you want to be as a kid before the world told you no? Before your parents or your teachers said, you can't do that, right? Your MTP, for me, was opening up space. And so I've incorporated that. Another is, if I gave you $1 billion and I said, I want you to make a difference on this planet with $1 billion. You can't spend it on yourself, but go and change the world in a way that's effective. What would you do with that $1 billion?
And what would, if something was going to excite you, get you up early, keep you, what would excite you? What would create wonder in your life? what would be something that would be so moving to you that like you couldn't stop thinking about it? This character can't stop thinking about it. He's always creating. So it's like, if you can come up with this, it's not perfection. Just give that crap up. Just go for something that's core, and it will get refined over time. Now, you refined yours over and over again when we're there, to be fair, everybody. Yeah. And by the time you get there, as he said, it may change, and then you can figure out what your specific moonshot is. But with this as a base, you can really execute. And what's an injustice that you can't stand, that can ignite you to really perform, find a way to help in a way you never have before? It gives life a deeper meaning than anything else. And then we'll go to the moonshots when you're there, where you really start to get specific and clear. And again, my moonshots have gotten bigger and bigger, and you get better at them. But you need that tapestry. You need that emotional power to be alive in you. And I'm sure you have it already, but this is maybe refining it just a little bit.
So please complete this exercise. Enter it in. We're gonna take what you give us here digitally and print it out for you. You're gonna share it with your colleagues there. You're gonna share it openly and proudly, like I do my MTP. And within that canvas, anything is possible. We're going to show you the most extraordinary, powerful technologies on the planet. There's more capital. We hit all-time highs in 2017 and then again in 2018 in venture capital, seed capital, crowdfunding. There's more capital than ever before. There's no challenge in money or technology. It's clarity about where you want to spend your passion, your energy, and your skills.
Spot on.
And so I beseech you, come to A360 with clarity on your massively transformative purpose. Again, you can iterate it, come with something. And then within that realm are moonshots and really a chance to change not only your life, but to change the world.
I have nothing to add to that. That's perfect. Just do it. God bless.
Take care, guys. Hey, buddy.
Love you, man.
Love you too.